Once upon a time a rat lived down here, so it's all scary. You just make it work.
Make it work. Make it work. Easy 30 minutes. Took apart the entire boat. It's good enough for government work. Let's go! We made it.
Hi, my name is Kenna, and this is Jay. We live aboard our Choi Lee Offshore 41. Her name is Sitka. Currently, we are sailing and exploring our beautiful home here on Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada. I'm new to sailing, but I'm learning and loving it more and more each day. Jay, on the other hand, was born a salty sailor. As he takes me under his wing to get ready to sail around the world, join us on our adventure of falling in love with the beauty of life and the wonders of each other. Welcome to the story of us, and welcome to Sailing Sitka.
We are absolutely going to be sailing soon. I promise you guys, because I know what you're thinking. Isn't this a sailing channel? Yes, I promise we will be getting sailing videos in here pretty soon. When we started this channel, we started in the midst of getting Sitka prepared for offshore sailing. So when we first started up, it's just been project mode after project mode after project mode in getting Sitka prepared to leave. So most of our videos have been just projects, and I know there's some of you out there that do appreciate that, and I know there's some out there that don't. But we will be sailing very, very, very shortly. So just bear with us, you guys. I know that you're excited to see some sailing, and you are going to be seeing sailing soon. You're going to see sailing soon.
Alright, so today is a bilge pump upgrade day. So on this table, actually there's more stuff in there. There's more plumbing in there. But we got pretty much everything we need for it. So I got my high water bilge alarm, the float switch to connect to it. I got, don't mind this Raycor filter, another bilge pump that's going to be mounted higher. Then a tiny cheap diaphragm pump that's going to go on the bracket too, but that's just to get the last inch in the bilge. There's already a pre-existing bilge pump down there that works great with a float switch. This high water bilge pump setup is going to be mounted above it, so if in case for some reason that other bilge pump is overwhelmed, meaning there's an issue, either a through hull failed or something's going on that needs our attention, the alarm's going to go off, and then this secondary pump's going to kick on. Also, I already have a high output manual bilge pump out in the cockpit, but I also went and purchased a smaller one, which I'm going to mount on a bracket, and it's going to have 2 sets of hoses on it, so I'll be able to move it around on the boat to pump out compartments if need be. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a T-valve on our existing diaphragm shower pump so that I can shut the inlet from the shower and open a T-valve that's going to connect to a tube that's going to go down in the forward bilge. So if ever shit hits the fan, we're going to be able to use the bilge sump pump to pump the bilge out as well. And later on, that's probably going to be down when we're actually in Mexico. When we haul out, I'll be changing the engine through hull setup, and there's also going to be on a T past the strainer so that I can shut that and then use the engine with a hose and the bilge with a strainer on that in case of a really, really bad emergency where I can use the diesel engine actually as a bilge pump. So anyways, I'm going to wire all this stuff, and I built this little bracket that's going to get bolted on inside the bilge, and this is where things are going to get mounted to. So it's not meant to look pretty. I just used marine grade plywood that I had left over. I screwed it in place with stainless steel screws and then epoxied it and painted with some leftover paint. So it's not pretty, but it's solid. All right, let's get started. Watch out, I got my gun. So I'm almost done getting this little, it's hot. Getting this little puppy ready. So now the pump, the float switch for the high water bilge alarm, and our little cheap old diaphragm pump to get the bottom inch is all installed. I did not have this pump when I designed this, so it was a bit too wide to bolt. So there's 3 out of 4. So it's good enough for government work. And we're we're gonna mount this in the bilge on a bracket that I've already installed. So I'll just show you guys that now. And I got some long stainless steel bolts with some wing nuts. So I'll be able to mount it like this. And then if ever I need to lift it up to access the other bilge pump, I'll also have 2 holes here where I can raise it and mount it there just so I have access below. It'll make sense when I show you guys, so why not? So, as you can see, there's this beam down here. Let me grab a light for you guys because it's probably dark in there. So, if you come here, you can see how deep it is and how shallow, and like there's a lot of shit going on, and that's the only part of that's the wet bilge area, so it's tiny, and that's why it cycles all the time. So this bracket is like a way of getting this all the way down here under the engine, under everything. Now, I'm not gonna try to fuck it up right now by filming, but I'll show you guys what it looks like because I'll need both hands to do this. And then this bracket is gonna mount on here, which is also leftover marine grade plywood, and it's screwed in and epoxied, so she's solid. All right, bye-bye. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. I might have to modify this a bit, but it should be like right there. So this will mount here. And the original bilge pump, I don't know if you guys can see. Where's the flashlight, my love? Yeah. So original bilge pump is right there, down here, with a float switch, and then just right above the platform is there, and then that's the high output bilge pump with the high water alarm, and then on here is the little diaphragm pump. That's going to have its own little tube that's going to go inside the bilge so we can empty that last bit of water, because you see there's about 1.5 inches of water down there, and that never gets it out. Like that original bilge pump, it just doesn't do it. It'll just backflow right into it. So and that amount of water is enough to make that main bilge pump down there cycle non-stop when we're sailing, especially if you're on a heel and it's wavy, and it just cycles through, and that's going to burn the pump down. So I want to avoid that. So this little self-roll pump there from Amazon for $35 going to do the trick, and that was an idea from Chris, one of our neighbors. So good on you, Chris.
Can we take a moment to look at what this man is doing to make sure we're extra safe at sea?
Yeah, now I gotta figure out a way to add a hole in there without drilling into pre-existing wires, so I can pass like 12 more wires because I'm anal retentive and I'm adding too many pumps in here. And it's what, 8 p.m. at night?
Yeah.
And we work in the morning! God damn, son! Ah! This is how big of a mess the boat's into when you're trying to do an electrical project. The electrical part's honestly the easy part in this case. It's the whole running, wiring, and all this fucking bullshit that's taking forever. And like drilling all these stupid holes. Now I'm at the part where like you just clean, just, you know, wiring stuff. Oh boy. The problem with electrical is not the actual electrical connecting parts. That's easy when it comes to basic 12 volt. Anyways, I don't find it that complicated. For most things. Some things I need to ask for help, but for most things, I'm pretty confident with my 12 volt skills. What is a nightmare is running wires. Now, if you run wire in a house, you know it can be a pain in the ass. Well, on a boat, multiply that by 1,000 and then add an exponent 1.5 million. It's fucking insane. If I ever design a boat, and if you design boats out there, please, people, make conduits. Forget about conduits this big. You're gonna get them filled in fucking 2 days. Make a conduit 10 times the size as you think they'll ever need on the boat. Trust me, they'll be thankful. And make access ports throughout the boat where you can tee in those. Come on, people. It's not rocket science. Think about the people who need to maintain the boat afterwards. Guess what? They're gonna add shit to it. I'll tell you that much. Anyways, rant's over. I'm gonna keep Nicole, use this boil the cheese. I need the drill. Oh. Nothing like taking your boat apart to install. Like I said, wiring's easy. The actual connection part, that's the easy part. It's doing all this shit, that's a nightmare. And then it's like trying to like route things so it makes sense. So it's not always sitting in the bilge. Bring it back there. And then that's going to be our negative for the emergency bilge pump. That took just, you know, easy 30 minutes. Took apart the entire boat. Had to take apart my shoe locker side, the top panel of the engine battery, the whole battery compartment, drill a hole, all for a 14 gauge wire and maybe an 8-foot run. But hey, Bob's your uncle. He's not my uncle, but he's your uncle. Alright, so we just wired it. So that's the emergency bilge pump right now. So it's connected. It's an automatic one, but I'm just gonna bypass. Obviously, there's no water in it, so it won't go off. But let's see by clicking the manual. Oh, fucking daddy, let's go! We made it. Now we just got the high water bilge alarm to wire and the diaphragm pump. But at least all the holes for the chases are done. So now it's like cooking with fucking dynamite. I'm on my second win of energy, so you gotta keep up, guys. You gotta keep up. Put your goggles on. Put your goggles on. We got wood. We got screwdrivers. We got 100 foot of black wire, 100 foot of red wire, 14 gauge. I wish I had more colors, but I don't.
Stop while you're ahead.
Stop while I'm ahead. I think I was ahead a while ago. Now it's all downhill from now. All right, so now we have the high water bilge pump wired, so you can hear it works. Obviously there's no water there, which is a good thing. Now we have our main bilge pump, which is this one, and then the diaphragm pump, which is this little pump that I'm gonna be wiring next. Actually, I'm gonna wire the high water bilge alarm right now, and then I'll do this one. So we're not going to be anytime soon, my love. Okay, let's get going, big boy.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool.
And then this one. And if we put the bilge pump in automatic, you'll see water shooting out of there. Like if I put this in auto. Woo!
That's fast.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
System is on point. What time is it then?
It's like 20 to 12.
Yeah, it's so. But we made it, and everything works. This pump too. We just don't have it plumbed, and we don't have this plumbed. But all the wiring's done. Obviously, I've got to make it look pretty now. But yeah, it's good. I'm happy.
Congrats, my love.
I'm happy. Look at our new bilge setup. Look at this. Diaphragm pump on off. Main bilge pump auto off manual.
We can read.
Okay, well, who knows? Who knows? Who knows, Papa Chulo? So to pass that plumbing tube for the bilge pump, we're gonna have to empty this lazarette, and we're gonna have to empty all this, which goes all the way down under where I'm standing, and then Kenna is gonna go in there and might put a mattress there, and it's gonna be the new aft cabin. That's right.
That's where you're gonna go in your bad boy.
When I'm a bad boy, I don't fit in there. Like I actually like. So this is a funny story. Like a few years ago, I had a neighbor called Mason, and yeah, I needed help to get out of there because I took all the stuff out of here in the lazarette, and I was using soapy water to wash everything, and I slipped and knocked myself out, and it was like bleeding everywhere in there. So yeah, don't do that. It's slippery. And obviously the hull's curved, so made for a shit show.
Oh my god.
Big Daddy Sapphire. Look at that mustache. Big boy.
So we're emptying out the first lazarette, and so far, this is everything that came out of there. It's actually so much room.
So, bringing all these foresails out, I'm like out of breath. Makes me really happy I installed a furler on this boat, because on my last boat when I was sailing offshore, especially to Hawaii, sometimes like with squalls coming in at night, I would have to go sometimes up to 10 times to go up forward, pull the jib down or the genoa down, unhank it, take the sheets off, walk to the cockpit. And my last boat was 30-foot length, and so like there's almost no room to walk with the dinghy on deck, so I was like walking around with a huge sail bag back to the cockpit, and then I had to pick a smaller sail if the wind had increased, go up forward, re-hank it, so those piston hanks, so it's like little clips, and you have to like clip them on these stays so it goes up and down, then retie the halyard, retie the sheets, rerun everything, go back to the cockpit, and then like raise the sail and then trim the sail. And then sometimes the wind dies like literally 20 minutes later, so you have to like pull that storm jib down, put a bigger genoa. So I had like a 130, a 110, a working jib, and a storm jib. So all these foresails like had to go up and down all the time, and sometimes it was good, you'd get like 4 or 5 days of like constant trade winds, but sometimes it's like anybody out there that sails with Hank on knows. But the good thing about Hank on, I will say, is they never fail. Like if you need to put it down in a hurry, it freaking comes down. And that's why we put a winch just for the furler on here, because this sail is heavy duty. It's from North Sail. It's really heavy built, which is awesome for offshore, but it's heavy sail, so you do need assistance. Like you can't furl that by hand in anything over 16 knots of wind. It's just not possible, especially because it's a small diameter line too on furlers, so it just rips your hand. So having that little winch there on the self-tailing thing is going to make it very nice. But anyways, let's go back to the plumbing.
Okay, hobbit hole number 3, Jay has made me go in. So this is what I'm working with. Ouch. So that's where we're gonna grab the tube from and chase it up through here. And once upon a time a rat lived down here, so it's all scary. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna start pushing. Pull. Pull on the hose.
I'm trying. Okay, wait.
It's gonna be there. There we go. That was pretty easy. Hi, me now. Take this off. Oh. Alright. That ain't going anywhere. Oh, okay. Oh.
How's it fit?
Yeah, it fits pretty good. I'll show you guys. So it comes down this bunghole, goes up to here, and then woo! And what was cool is that through hole was already there, but there's nothing connected to it, which was kind of a dumb thing. It was fine for coastal, but offshore, obviously, waves could hit there in a following sea. So, yeah, pretty happy about that. So now that's our high output bilge pump plumbed in. Well, 50%. Well, 99%. The only part we gotta cut the hose here down below, and then put it to pump. So we have a bit of spare, so it's always good to have spare hose. I always buy more, and then we get spare parts. And to do this project, this is what the boat looks like.
Go show.
And then this is what we took out of the lazarettes, the two of them, the aft one.
Two of them. It's not even all three.
It's not all three, it's only two of them. So yeah, we're gonna do a cleanup at the same time, because I feel like some of the shit can go in the bin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, introducing from the yellow corner, bilge pump. Actually, don't. Before you do that, don't be a coconut like I do sometimes. You gotta put the hose clamp on. And the hose clamps I buy, they're way more expensive, but they're worth it. They're these stainless steel 316 ones, but they're not perforated. So you can see on this side, there's no perforations. Therefore, when you get corrosion, you'll inevitably, I can't say that word. Corrosion, French isn't my first language. Corrosion will happen at sea. It's just, then even with 316. So by having none of these holes, you're less likely to have one of these break. And these are what stops the ocean from getting in your boat. Because if that pops out, and the hose pops up, then you got a huge hole in your boat. Not in this case because it's a pump, but for a through hull, you need to double these up, right? For any active through hulls. And they're worth the extra money, I think. So anyways.
Yeah, I think. Inevitably. Is that what the word you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Inevitably.
It's better if you use sockets for this. All my tools are down there. I don't want to grab them right now. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna need Kenna to drop the camera and help. Okay. As you can tell, it's a tight area, but that was what we need to do if we wanted to have a bilge pump higher than our main bilge pump.
So we flashed up the engine because we haven't flashed it up in a while, and we wanted to see if the shaft would hit our new bilge pump tube.
So on Sitka, we do things, we make everything our own. Including our clothes, apparently. What are you doing, hun?
This is my first boat work sweater, and it's actually my dad's, so it means a lot to me. And I decided to catch a waterfall of epoxy when it was slipping through the tape. So it turned into rock solid, and it's actually slicing me all over the place. So, but she's gonna live on because I'm just gonna cut her off, and you know, it'll still do the job.
That's right, people.
You just make it work.
Make it work. Make it work.
You just make it work.
You gotta make it work, people. You gotta get Big Daddy Safari to make it work.
See?
There we go.
She good.
She good.
Who can say where the road goes on the meantime?
Just tell me you're losing it without telling me you're losing it over there. What are you doing? My name is Big Daddy Safari. I come from the land, but I live in the sea.
Oh my God.
I was just here enjoying my breakfast. That's gone. And then I turn and Kenna's being an absolute coconut. She's trying to fold herself in a pretzel. Sure, you gotta come in the living room.
I like it.
So since we've made this quarter berth comfortable, Kenna literally disappears in here.
Disappears.
And leaves me all on my own. Over there, all by my lonesome.
Yeah, but it's small, so it's safe, you know?
Let's see how small it gets when I get in here.
You can fit.
Oh, Big Daddy Safari's coming in hot.